welcome back to the Creator Shelf. You're joining me on a slightly sunny, overcast day in Brussels, but it is beautiful. Temperatures around 24, 25 Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but for us, it's beautiful because it's not too hot, it's not cold, it's that perfect t-shirt weather. So without further ado, welcome back to existing subscribers and welcome to new subscribers. This is the Creator Shelf in Brussels. So yes, today's monthly deep dive, basically the deck I've been working with throughout the whole month of June was the Phantasma Tarot by Paulina Fae. This is none other than Paulina Cassidy. So before I go into the Phantasma Tarot, let me just speak about her other decks quickly and give you a rundown. I am planning to do much more deeper dive on all these decks a little bit later. Paulina Cassidy also did the Paulina Tarot. This is her first tarot deck. This is the one that I picked up in 2015, something like that, 2014. It's my beloved kind of like learning deck along with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. This was the one that was the RWS, of course, is a classic, and I knew I needed to learn that deck. This is the one which kind of like felt more closer towards my energy, which is a lot more whimsical, fae. I didn't know at the time that I'm a fae girl. I just knew that I liked it because it was dark and foresty and cute, and it just appealed all to my kind of like childlike imagination. And you know, as the years have gone on, and in 2020 when I started to actually buy tarot decks, I realized that I am in love with the fae energy. That is really my heart, where my heart sits. But anyway, the Paulina Tarot will always be a special for me. After that, one of the decks that I picked up hers is the Spirit Song Tarot. Now, this also by Paulina Cassidy is a tarot deck that the YouTuber, who no longer does readings, an actual tarot tuber who does those, you know, monthly horoscope readings that I absolutely loved. I hope she's okay. Is Temperate Star. I've not seen any videos from her for at least a few years. I just hope that maybe she doesn't want to do YouTube anymore, understandable, but I just hope that she's well and healthy, enjoying her life off TarotTube, YouTube, whatever, because I got a lot from her readings. She's a beautiful reader, and she used the Spirit Song Tarot. Strangely, I did not understand it at that point that, of course, this is the same creator as the Paulina Tarot, but yes, it is Paulina Cassidy again. So this is her more animalistic vibe, kind of like tarot. For me, this functions very well as an oracle deck. I will be doing a more in-depth review on these another time on this channel. There is a reason why I'm waiting, because I need to get a few more of her decks, basically. A deck that I fell in love with, and I kind of like kicked myself that I hadn't got it sooner, is the Joie de Vivre. I think this is an enchanting deck. If the Paulina Tarot feels a bit too detailed for you, and if you're not really an animal person and this is a Spirit Song Tarot, I definitely recommend giving Joie de Vivre a try. This deck is just, it's whimsical, it's not heavy in terms of its images, it's just cute, and it's light, it's fresh, it's like a real spring summer deck. You know, it just brings that like zest of lemony, orangey, citrus energy to the palette. And yeah, I absolutely love this deck. You know, these are like some of my ride or die decks, basically. This is it, you're seeing them. My fae energy decks are the ones that are just kind of like, I'm so close to. Actually, recently I bought another fairy deck. It's very mass market, it's very quiche. I don't want to mention it yet. I'm getting ready to just, you know, come out of the closet with that one. but that tarot deck, I just did quickly a reading today, and it was like on target, and that it's that deck, and it's just how I relate to that energy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's me. I don't know where the click is, but it just gave me exactly the truth. And when I saw the outcome, I was like, it's not great. It's not exactly like the worst outcome in the world, but it was like, ooh, you know, and it made me think, okay, I need to see how, you know, I can just, you know, work on myself a bit more. And when a tarot deck does that, it gives me the truth up front. It's amazing. I have to be really careful though about, you know, when I do that kind of reading. I'm somebody I don't read a lot for myself, but the odd time I do, I'm very careful about the deck that I pick, because I don't want one that just tells me all nice things. And fae energy for me, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that's why, now I'll go into it, that's why I picked up the Phantasma Tarot. I knew this was coming out about, I think about 2 months before it was coming out. very, very difficult to get hold of in Europe. So I had to wait until winter when I finally managed to get a copy of it. And I was just, you know, I just knew I was going to get it. I know that Paper Moon Tarot had shown it on her channel, and I think it was during the Vlogmas she'd shown the Magician, and I was just like, oh, that's a beautiful deck. So yeah, now this is, I mean, if you love the Spirit Song in terms of its pastels and its greens, this beautiful, it's gorgeous, right? It's just so natural in many ways. The Phantasma Tarot is really that pastel color, that blush, that soft pink blush. There's the inside, meeting with these beautiful lavenders and blues. Oh, it's just a gorgeous deck. Paulina Cassidy's work. I'm someone that likes to use those ink pens. I'm not an artist. I don't see myself as an artist. So in my amateurish way, I like to use these fine liners and then go over it with pencils or any other type of mediums. And Paulina Cassidy's work is just that kind, which really makes me sit down with just some of my scraps of paper and pen and maybe some pastels or something and just give it a try. And I always feel as if, you know, the Fae energy there, just, I don't feel judged. I don't know how else to put it. I think it allows me to bring out all my little doodles and my flowers and everything. So that's how I feel about, you know, Paulina Cassidy's work. Now it comes with this tiny little white booklet, which I'm going to go into in a moment. The cards are not in order because I have been working with them, so they're a little bit out of order. I haven't edged mine or anything. The reason is I'm a bit scared. I don't want it to bleed in, so I've left the edges as they are. These are the backs. Sorry, first of all, these are the backs. I have to say I don't think they're my favorite backs. I think Paulina Cassidy has done some really beautiful backs. Not my favorite, but the lightness of the lines actually reflects the deck. So I think it matches what we're about to see. So these are the cards. Now, I think that this is the first time where I'm seeing a tarot deck where there's a lot of Fae energy, but the Fae energy for me is more stronger in animalistic sense. This is one of the rare ones where maybe it's not, but we're going to start seeing it. This mixture of this more human or elf-like Fae energy and animalistic. And I think that's where she's really balancing her own art of, let's say something like the Joie de Vivre, and then the Paulina Tarot, which is quite dark in some ways actually, and shadowy, with then the Spirit Song and Joie de Vivre, which is much more lighter. So I think Phantasma really is a balance of her light and dark. So here we go. You see the more animalistic side coming out. Now, I was so impressed with the Empress, where she's balancing there, right, on these beautiful kind of like swells, these branches, and they're coming out of that river, right, that river from the High Priestess. And there's the bunny. There's the constellation. I mean, it's just gorgeous, right? And there's the constellation there with the High Priestess glyph in there, and then, oh God, it's Paulina Cassidy's work is one where you really need to just sit there and let it take you away, like here with the Eight of Cups, where, you know, the journey is happening. And you can see here that she's taking strength from the river as she goes into flight. I mean, this death card, you know, the Phoenix is breathing life into that skeleton. Just awesome, right? This Phoenix that is being born is breathing life, new life into it. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I just love here, you know, the moon with the I don't know how to call it, you know, just these branches hanging from it. There's not branches so much, but some kind of like a heather or some kind of from the leaves hanging from it. It's just gorgeous, pretty, very, very pretty, but also just full of symbols. The King of Pentacles here. Now he's holding on to this, I think I would call it it's a little deer. It's a baby deer. It's a doe. I just love her drawing so much. You can see here, this climbing here. I don't know what plant this is. You know, I'd have to really sit with each one of these. Love the Five of Wands. I love that energy going head to head. Amazing, amazing energy. I think this is the Ram energy going head to head. And Ten was the Two of Wands. Look at that line setting out on his journey. And I love that. So it reminds me kind of like of the I was going to say Gryffindor, but it's not Gryffindor so much. Sorry, it's gone out of my mind. The magical creature that I was thinking of. Maybe it'll come back again. Sorry, it's gone straight out of my mind. But yeah, it's just I drew this. I remember when I drew this card, I found it so emotive of the emotion I was going through that day as well. You know, just so much of it is in her mind. So much of it. Here we go. Two of Swords. Blocked. Oh, I remember drawing the Ten of Cups. Look at these, the joy and the bliss in their face. Just so blissful. I love the beautiful heart on his chest. The details in these cards are amazing. And I'm just seeing here these beautiful kind of like jellyfish forming this kind of like halo. Look at the Queen of Pentacles there. What a gorgeous representation. Just, you know, she's holding on to her kind of like her spirit animal, embracing it. And look at the happiness on her face. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. There's a Capricorn, the Capricorn, I love Capricorns because of course family reasons. So I love it when the Queen of Pentacles is joyful because, you know, she's this beautiful earth energy where she has been a maiden, but then she's gone on to become a mother, you know, this earth goddess. Absolutely gorgeous. Seven of Pentacles there, waiting for the fruits of those labors. So as you see, there's a lot of animalistic energies going on here. This is the World card. I thought this was gorgeous with this dragon. The Hermit. I remember drawing this, feeling the calm of this peacock with this abundance of life around it. The colors are just mesmerizing. I drew the Awakening, the Judgment card here too. Look at that cat, just absolutely, just so regal, the whole pose. Looks like he's cloaked. And then there's the bats. So yeah, I just find this deck is just full of symbols that I just need to sit with. The Fool is just so intriguing, this deck. So I would definitely, if you want something that takes you on this magical, enchanted forest journey, you're someone like me that likes the Forest of Enchantment Tarot by Linnea Weatherstone, which of course features on this channel quite often. Actually, funny enough, you know, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit again next week. But you know, if you want somebody that likes the enchanted forest feel, you know, you like Joanna Bashford's Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest coloring books. I love those coloring books. This is that kind of deck which continues that story of wonder and delight, and looking at all the little symbols. And at the same time, if you don't want to do that and you feel overwhelmed, just sit with the energies, you know, look at the energy here of just so many choices here going on. And you have the colors of the chakras here. Oh my God, look at this Ace of Cups. I love these women embracing their spirit animal guides. You can see this human or this elf-like appreciation for the animals and the sentient beings in our forest. I just think it's gorgeous. Knight of Cups. So interesting. There's a little deviancy in this deck as well, but the High Priestess, I remember drawing this. I thought this foxy energy was gorgeous. I really love the High Priestess as a fox actually in this one. Yeah, oh, it's not a fox, sorry. I think that's a coyote. I'm sorry, I could be completely wrong there. I love that slight trickster in her because I think the High Priestess has that actually. Queen of Swords, Two of Pentacles, the Balancing Act. The Magician was an interesting one. This is the one that I saw Paper Moon Tarot also draw and show us. And I loved it. As well as like, I have to get this deck actually. Ten of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Four of Wands. And there we go. Keep going on these. So you get an idea for, oh, look at the lovers there. The little messengers coming in, Gemini energy. Yeah, the Queen of Wands is a spectacular, I love her. I love the Queen of Wands anyway. I think she's my significator in terms of quartz. And I love her in this one. I love the bees. I love, I think rather than bees, I've got a feeling this might be more like wasps, which is even better. And actually makes more sense if these are wasps. Oh, I love this. I love this dragon curled around her here. I love the wand that she's holding, how it's so decorative. It's just, again, I drew the Tower card, and I remember just sitting with this card, opposite me during a working day. I find the blues in this deck are just gorgeous as well. The jinn, yeah, the devil. That's what we say in the Arab world more, and in India as well. We say the jinn. 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and there we go. Keep going. Strength. A lot of dragon energy in this. Like I said, she has a really good play with animals as well as like the human elf, like 6 of Pentacles. I'll need to sit with this one again in terms of giving. 3 of Pentacles. I love this collaboration. 5 of Swords. Yeah, I love the 9 of Pentacles in this deck as well. She looks so happy. This really is me. I feel like this is me. This is my Virgo self, my maiden. And look at the jewelry around her neck. Sorry, I just have to point that out. So yeah, keep going. The World card, or the Wheel of Life. So yeah, hopefully you've got now a really good idea of this deck, what you would be getting if you decide to invest. I'll show you quickly. Look at this is the Hierophant. I was going to say Hierophant. Look at this Hierophant card. Isn't that magnificent? The wisdom of the elephant coming through. I think that's an African elephant because, of course, bigger ears. African elephants have the big ears. Yeah, beautiful unicorn there. So we've got traditional animals. We've got magical creatures. And yeah, I just adore this deck. I love the animals in flight. Oh, that's Teddy. That's a Teddy, I think, on there. 6 of Swords. And yeah, 6 of Wands. This is the 5 of Pentacles. And this card, I've drawn this card very often. I'm really in a 5 of Pentacles and a 5 of Cups space. In the last, I would say, last 6-8 months, year of my life, I've really been in that space, sadly. But a lot of things have also been changing my life in that sense. So it's representative of where I'm at. And this card, even though it feels like they've got nothing, actually they've got so much. They've got each other. They've got that moonlight coming through. And there you go. There is hope. There is a hand there with this beautiful pentacle. So not everything is lost, but I think it is. And so I've got to be careful here that, when I draw this, that actually there is so much there for me. I've got those branches to sit on. I've got a home. I've got here wealth. I'm completely warm. Actually, the only thing that I'm lacking is the mindset. That's about it. So what a beautiful card. So let me just try and pick these up without. That's the thing about US Games cardstock. That's the only thing that I find really, really difficult about this cardstock, is that it's so slippery. But let me try and get them all off without messing up the camera. Yes, I did. Okay, so let me get them a bit of a shuffle, and let's pick a card. Okay, so I've picked the Empress here, and I'm just going to quickly do a quick reading and show you. So it is a little white book, so you're going to get just a preliminary amount for whether it's the major arcana or the minor arcana. The Empress. Okay, so it says here, I'll just give you here, and so you can see these are very short readings here. It says here, the Empress, graceful Mother Earth, walks among nature's wealth of divine beauty. She brings life's most free and simple pleasures that provide the greatest joys. She's fertile with ever-blooming energies of mind, spirit, and body. Carrying seeds of creativity, magic unfolds as her gardens of abundance come to fruition. The message is here, welcome the bounty that surrounds you and nurture your creative ideas. Keywords are abundance, nurture, pleasure, creativity, and fertility. The reverse message is nourish yourself with rest and recovery. The reverse keywords are lack of growth, overprotection, insecurity, dead-end projects, self-neglect. So you can see here that this is a, you know, if you want just a quick reader deck, this is perfect for that. You know, it is Rider-Waite-Smith based, but as you can see, the images are not always, you know, it's got the RWS imagery, but you'd have to hunt for it. So it might not be, I would not say this is really a beginner's friendly deck. I think this is more mid-level onwards. But I think it's a great addition to the collection. Very quickly before I forget, I just want to say a couple of decks that I think go really well with this one, oracle-wise, are the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann. The reason why I picked this is because, of course, of the pastels. And that's why I love this oracle deck. It is such a little gem, not just because, of course, the quality, you know, the writings of Chris Ann, but I love it because it's so versatile. The beauty of these are the backs, but the beauty of these pastel colors, they go so well with that Phantasma card energy. You know, here we have here, step ahead is all you need. And let's say, let's pick one. Four of Pentacles, you know, holding on. And here it is, it's giving us the guidance, you know, to move forward. So, you know, you can just see here, if you put them next to each other, they just go so well together. So that's one aspect. That's an oracle deck I would definitely recommend. I love this oracle deck, actually. I think it goes with a lot of my decks. So that one. And then the other one that I wanted to show you was, you might want to try this with an Amy Brown oracle deck, because I think that Fae energy will work very well with this one. So I have not worked so much with the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. I'm showing you this deck here by Amy Brown, writings by Nancy Brown. But I do think that image wise that they go well together. So that's how I want to get it. I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of this US Games packaging. It's huge. It is very difficult to maneuver. Not loving it. But these are the cards of that oracle deck. So you can see they're just so gorgeous. And let me just grab here another card. It says the Hermit. It says here, Jewel of the Sea. How beautiful is that next to each other? Let me try another one. Forget Me Not. Here's the World. It's almost like she's asking the world, don't forget about me. You know, she needs the world at that stage, maybe. Let's try one more. Actually, they look so good together, don't they? It says here devotion. So I think there's a bit of a love energy going on. And let me just randomly pick one here. 8 of Cups, moving on. So maybe it's about self-devotion, or maybe it's about moving on from this to the next part of your journey. It's just, I think that there's a harmony here of these pastels, discovery, this pastels and these 7 of Cups. I mean, look at that, right? If we put it this way around, they really speak to each other, where she's looking at like discovery and this is about choices. So it's just, yeah, I can already see, you know, that these would work so well together. So again, you know, an Amy Brown deck might be really good to go with a Paulina Cassidy deck, and I would definitely suggest it and give it a try. So I'm going to stop there, trying to keep this as brief as possible. I hope you enjoyed that. This was my deep dive into the Phantasma Tarot. Next week, we're actually going to do a summary of all of my kind of like June decks and whatever I read and that kind of thing, and my interest, etc. So I hope you can join me then. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye.